Good morning, Savva here from Savva Talks Football. Hope you're well. Hope the new channel announcements have made sense. I will go into that detail another day in a bit more detail, to be honest. Essentially, Savva Talks Spurs still going to be doing a number of Spurs shows, but going to be looking at the wider range of football so that the discussions and the topics don't become the same as every other channel every day. So hopefully, if you do like listening about Spurs and you also like to know what's going on in other teams in the Premier League and also other leagues across Europe, across the world, then we'll be discussing that as well. Just putting a schedule together of shows. The Spurs show, the main Spurs show, which will be me, Stel, and two others every week, will be on a Thursday night and will be called the Spurs Review. So, my daily thought for today, and good morning to you all, just before I set off to fly back to England, hopefully landing in time to see the Man United game. What are we going to do in this Man United game? I look at this, and this is a tricky one. I don't ever know what I'm going to get, I feel, with Man United. They've definitely become more resolute under Ten Hag. I think if I'm not wrong, I think they've won 5, drawn 1 and lost 1 of their last 7. So they're definitely difficult to beat. Sometimes they look good going forward. Other times I feel they look very lacklustre, like they did against Newcastle. So I'm not sure which Man United we're going to get. Now, historically, it's been very difficult when going to Manchester United for us to pick up results. Obviously, a couple of wins in the last decade stand out, which would be the 6-1, 6-1 or 6-2, escapes me right now, under Jose. And then there was the win under AVB, I believe. I could be wrong on that one, with Gareth Bale scoring that goal. So, historically, I think it's not many wins in the last 50 years going to Old Trafford. So it will always be tough. Now, have they got enough to beat us? Have we got enough to beat them? I look at Man United and I think a lot will hinge in this game as to whether Christian Erisken plays or not. When Christian Erisken plays for Man United, I feel that they have a lot of the ball, they have a lot of possession, and I feel that he dictates things from a deeper position than what we were used to seeing him at Spurs. So it's a different role. You're not going to see hundreds of assists from Erisken, but what you will see is him starting the plough from deep. Him and Casemiro together in that deep line positions, and then Bruno a bit further forward. I do feel that's really important for Man United, and if they don't have that, I do feel that we've got a much better chance. If they just go with Casemiro and Fred in the middle, because Erisken is still ill, then I do believe that the confidence with Basuma, with Højbjerg, with Bentancur, I do believe that we can have some joy in the middle of that park. But I think what's really important is that we don't allow them to have too much possession. Because for me, our counter-attacking, which has been our strength for years now, hasn't been on point this season. It doesn't look as fluid, it doesn't look as good. Now, that could be for many reasons. First of all, it just happens, that could be form. Second of all, I feel that we lose something massively without Kulusevski. So that leads me on to, will Kulusevski play? Now, lots of reports saying that he's not ready yet. Some reports saying that he's going to be on the bench. Others saying there's an outside chance. For me, I wouldn't want to play a player that isn't ready. I think it's the quickest way to get them injured again. So I think it makes sense to start with the team that ended against Everton. So the 3-man midfield with Kane and Son up top, and then bringing Basuma in. Sticking with Doherty at right wing back. I'd go with Perisic at left wing back, and then the back 3. We know what the back 3 is. So I think it's going to be a fairly even game. I don't think there's going to be many goals in it if anyone does win. Although I'd love Spurs to go up there and win 3-0, 4-0. Just don't think it's going to be that clear cut. Then you've got the elephant in the room, which is Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, when you spin this, you can look at this multiple ways, and that's the beauty of football. Cristiano Ronaldo's only got 1 league goal this year. Now, we could turn around and go, oh, there you go, don't worry about him, he's finished, don't worry. Or we can go, hang on, when he plays us, he always has joy. And I think that proved last year when he played Spurs. And we actually played quite well at Manchester United and ended up losing because of his hat-trick. Yeah, he's not that bloke that's going to dart down the channels anymore. He's not blissed anymore with blistering pace. But what he has got is fantastic movement in the box. And this is my biggest concern, is that Eric Dyer, who will be the central of our 3, isn't very good. I'll stop short of saying isn't very good in those situations. His decision-making, his heading ability. So Eric Dyer's going to have a really good game, and hopefully Romero and either Davis or Longley, either side, are going to have to really help him out. Then you've got pace from players like Sancho and Anthony. How will our wing-backs cope with that? I think one of the things that would worry me is if you play Doherty and Perisic, have either of them got the legs to contain Anthony and Perisic. So there's going to be lots of good individual battles across the pitch for me, and it's a really close one to call. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. A win there would be fantastic. It would set us up marvellously. A win there and you're almost in the realms of top 4 is done. Now, hear me out before I say that. I'm not naive enough to think that top 4 is done, but what you've done is you've set yourself up for a wonderful second half of the season already, because the gap will be 10 or 11 points back to 5th or 6th. So I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion, but these are the games you put those wins and the distance becomes that bit bigger, and then Daniel Levy can be really happy that he's guaranteed 4th. Equally the other way, please don't take it out of context. Don't want anyone messaging going, oh, Savva's guaranteed us 4th. You can also take that another way and say, well, hang on, if Man United beat us, then win their game in hand, I think they're 1 point behind. So there's a lot riding on tonight's game. For me as well, it'll be another good indicator, because the thing I keep throwing at Spurs is, yeah, we've done really well, but so far the best team we've beaten is Brighton. No disrespect to them, but this is a Brighton team that couldn't beat Brentford, couldn't beat, who did they play last night, couldn't beat Nottingham Forest, and that don't score many goals. I need to see us go to a team with some top players and win. I need to see that. Only for me, I need to see that. I want to see that. So again, another test tonight. We failed at West Ham, at Chelsea, at Arsenal. I just want to see now that we actually beat a good team. And I'm not going to call United a top team. So all in all, it's not impossible for either team to win. I'm going to go with a draw, and I don't think that will be the end of the world there tonight. I think that would be a good result. The only difficulty with that is you would think that Arsenal will win their next couple of games that they've got. So how far do you want to fall behind Arsenal this early in the season? So look, it's interesting, and it's been there's been some good storylines at the beginning of this Premier League season. And obviously, as Stell keeps saying, it's a season like no other with the World Cup coming to interrupt us. So all in all, I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. Hopefully Spurs can scrape the win. We've got a few things coming up. Wednesday night is going to be myself, Henry Wright and the Mad Sports Network. We're going to start a new show on a Wednesday night. The Mad Sports Network, Gav and Devo are going to join us each week to discuss European football. They're going to discuss the rest of the Premier League aside from Spurs. Thursday is going to be me, Stell, and 2 different fans each week for the weekly Spurs review. And then I'm going to have a London show as well, which we will factor in there somewhere. Other than that, the videos will still keep coming out. They won't just be about Spurs though. There'll be videos about whatever topics come up. And we've still got the Monday night show with rants. So please, thank you for all your support. Hopefully people like a bit of variety, a bit of diversity in the football chat. Otherwise I think it just gets a little bit boring. So, much love. That's my daily thought. Please like, please subscribe, please share. As always, come on you Spurs. And Daniel Levy and Enoch, get out of my club. Take care guys. See you on the flip side.